Believe it or not, Gunfire has released yet another patch for Remnant 2, focused on bug fixes and surprisingly buffs. This one's fairly large, so let's hop right in. For performance and crashes, they fixed an issue where impact cannons sometimes cause performance issues versus Annihilation, and they fixed an issue where upgrading or downgrading repeatedly could cause hitching or slowdown. I personally have been running into a lot of performance issues when I reset myself within War 13 or change my traits. I guess I'll have to find out if that's been changed. For Archetypes, Invoker. The Ingram will now properly show lore and description when viewed in Wallace's inventory. Way of Kaula with a lot of major fixes. Haste applied by other sources will no longer be removed when Kaula ends. Fix an issue where the drenched sound loop would remain after a kill. Fix an issue causing Tidal Wave to skip cooldown and multiple times. And fix an issue that caused Recast to refresh the lightning cooldown. The devs note that the lightning blasts were on a timer and recasting it would cause the timer to be refreshed. They're now on an independent timer so that recasting will allow the lightning to strike when it originally should have. This is definitely huge for my unlimited wormhole build. For Way of Meadra, Drench no longer reverts to base damage upon archetype swap. It should now consistently heal friendly companions and summons. And it should now stop healing bosses, so that's good. The devs note that Vash Kawai is in shambles. Sorry to hear that. For Way of Lydusa, alright, okay. I included this fight early on in this video for a reason. It's obviously like the most absurd case of Way of Lydusa, but I already thought it was incredible. They buffed it. They increased the critical bonus chance from 5 to 10%. They added elemental damage type for AoE blasts. Okay. It now scales with amplitude. Sick. The skill cooldown bar behaves properly when using reactivation effect. And it enabled Sand Devil generation from skill and status damage. Oh my god. The devs note that while all damage is currently allowed to generate Sand Devils, we're keeping an eye on it. This is because it ends up allowing an infinite cycle of Sand Devils and detonate when mod or status damage continues to apply. The original design was that Brittle was caused by ranged and melee damage, and Sand Devils would also only be created by those damage types as well. We will see how this plays out and may eventually limit it to only those damage types. So for all the people that were saying that my build would probably get patched, they were wrong. In fact, it got much stronger. Holy shit. I can't believe you've done this. Moving on before my mind explodes. For Ritualist. The Prime perk now fixed a bug causing Amplitude to have a double stacking effect on Vile. The damage perk is buffed. Increased damage bonus from 20% to 25%. What? The devs note that while Ritualist is already quite strong, they wanted to ensure that the strength wasn't entirely status damage. They wanted it to be used as a secondary archetype more effectively. This is a minor buff to benefit all damage in either scenario. For Gunslinger. For Sidewinder, they reduced the reload time decrement from 10 seconds to 6 seconds. The devs note that the change allows for a few more swap reloads with Sidewinder at the base duration of 60 seconds. Previously, 7 were possible, and now 11 are possible. This of course still benefits from duration increases. Arkin getting touched again. Power Creep. Increased mod refund and generation bonuses from 5 to 10%. Chaos Gate increased mod generation from 5 to 10%. And also fixed an issue where VFX were still visible to clients after deactivation. For Havoc form, fixed an issue causing Havoc to be staggered in some situations. So there you go, that was like the biggest ask. Fix an issue where abilities would cancel after going through a labyrinth portal. Fix an issue causing inconsistent cooldown refund behaviors. Fix an issue causing Blink to trigger AoE explosion twice. And for all the speedy Havoc users, they fixed an issue that allowed footwork and swiftness to multiply speed bonus. So Havoc form was actually incorrectly labeled as always in aim mode, which allowed footwork and swiftness to stack while applying to lightning hands and shield. This is no longer the case, but movement speed bonuses will still apply to both, just not aim bonuses. They reduced the lightning hands base damage from 56 to 48. They reduced the movement speed while firing lightning hands. And they slightly increased the cost of lightning hands time decrement per pulse. The devs note that the combination of movement stacking bonuses and fire rate stacking, which is still enabled, allowed the Arkin to easily circle strafe some of the most challenging content while holding down lightning hands. Repositioning with Blink was almost never required due to the speeds that could be attained. This change allows the Arkin to retain their maximum speed bonuses during normal movement and reduce the evasive effectiveness of simply strafing while firing. They've also boosted the Arkin's overall mod generation through power creep and added a bit more back to Chaos Gate. For Engineer, the Vulcan turret. Fixed an issue causing turret to miss shorter enemies like hollows or parasites. I heard there were some buffs over here for gear, believe it or not. They buffed the Trinity. Increased base damage from 42 to 44 per bolt. 126 to 132 per shot. For Thorn, oh my god. They added mod damage scaling to blowback explosions. Sounds like it's going to improve the overall primary fire. So that's interesting. For Corrupted Aphelion. Fix an issue that causes a weapon to propel players across the map. For Corrupted Sorrow. Fix an issue preventing heals from applying to companions and summons. Holy shit. Oh my god. They buffed Monolith. Added elemental damage type to primary fire, ranged and elemental now. They fixed an issue causing the primary fire to sometimes pass through parts of enemies. For Sandstorm, they fixed an issue preventing mod use when no ammo is present, thank god. They enabled duration to scale with mod duration bonuses. Okay, that was literally the two major complaints I had in my last Sandstorm video. Good job. Holy shit. Sandstorm now properly scales with mod and elemental damage bonuses. And of course, fix an issue preventing proper damage calculation. So Monolith is a lot better now. That's insane. Plasma Cutter. Fix an issue that caused certain VFX particles to drift. And for the Polygon, fix an issue showing incorrect values when upgrading. Moving on to melee weapons. For Mirage. Fixed a UI issue causing stats and description to break the bounds of the tooltip. The Cyclone. It's a buff. They enabled proper damage scaling for melee and elemental. That's right. Elemental damage should now trigger melee mutators. Shielded Strike is still winning. A lot. Crystal Staff. I'm in the middle of making a video for this, so that's not good. Fixed incorrect damage scaling values. Okay. They lowered the base damage to account for proper 3x damage scaling, which is a net buff. And they fixed an issue where inspect information is displaying incorrectly. Okay, so hopefully my build still holds up. Gotta go check that out after this. All katanas increase the backstep damage scaler from 0.9 to 1.45 per hit. Holy wow. For Steel Katana, increase critical chance from 11 to 13%. And for Edge of the Forest, they increase the crit chance from 9 to 11%. For weapon mods, Explosive Shot, they fix an issue preventing proper damage scaling based off of weapon level. For Song of Yfair, they fix an issue allowing damage to register as weak spot hits versus some flyers. For Scrap Shot, they fixed an issue preventing damage from updating in the inspect information. And for Flying Bomb Trap, they fixed an issue that allowed Flying Bomb Trap to damage allies. That's good, that's like one of my favorite mods now. For weapon mutators, Failsafe. Fixed incorrect refund calculations for mods that spent multiple charges at once. So I think that if it has multiple charges, it can refund all of them now. Before, that was only the case for Reed of the Vaunt. Oh my god. Reed of the Vaunt just got a lot better if that's the case. Holy shit. Ingenuity. Fix an issue causing level 10 bonus to break reload on any non-heat weapon. For Pressure Point. Fix an issue where level 10 bonus triggered twice on mod activation. For Weapon Lord, they fixed the description of the primary effect. And for Slayer, they increased the damage bonus from 20 to 25%. Trinkets, there's actually quite a few here. Overall, looks like a bunch of buffs. Again. Holy shit. What is happening? For Misty Step, fix an issue that caused certain weapons to disappear. Birthright of the Lost. Okay, wow, great changes here. It applies exposed to enemies in a 3-meter AoE on any perfect dodge trigger. That's huge. They also changed it so it no longer applies to self when you use Wormhole with it, which is exactly what I was running into. I was like, oh sick, I can give myself exposed. Jester's Bell increased duration from 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Kinetic Shield Exchanger increased mod generation from 20 to 30%. Stone Shaper's Chisel, effect properly remains after traveling. Ahane Crystal getting a buff. What is happening? Increased damage bonus from 4% to 5% per stack. What? Band of the Fanatic, I think, getting a much needed buff. Increased status damage bonus from 25 to 30%, and reduced duration penalty from 65% to 50%. I think that is very much needed for it. Burden of the Audacious, fixed interaction with Burden of the Divine. Burden of the Follower, increased mod generation from 25 to 30%. Burden of the Mesmer, they reduced the health penalty from minus 25% to minus 20%. Devoured Loop, getting 2 fixes. Fix an issue preventing any skill cooldown resets, so all the people in my Discord who thought they were going full schizo, fear not. You were right. And fix an issue preventing skill cooldown resets of active skills. Effluvium Enhancer, increased acid bonus damage from 20 to 25%. I have a feeling that's going to be the same for Shock Device and Talisman of the Sun. Matriarch's Ring, increased duration from 5 seconds to 7 seconds. Ravager's Bargain, removed hidden skill damage that was stacking with base damage bonus. Shadow of Misery, increased status damage bonus from 15% to 20%. Wow, that's a major buff. Holy cow. Everything getting... what? I can't take this anymore. For Constrained Heart, recasting properly refreshes Bulwark stacks. And Broken Heart no longer causes a long black screen after death while equipped. Truly broken indeed. For enemies, fix an issue where Bloodless Air Aberration would focus entirely on summons. Okay. Fix an issue where the kiln enemy could shoot through some walls. Thank you. Fix an issue where Talratha's weapon fandom for roll attack was incorrect. Fix an issue where some enemies would remain inactive during the Shrewd fight. Fix an issue where the Dran Rifle and Shotgun character rarely connected with melee attacks. And fix an issue where the Root Knight could get stuck hovering over the Root Nexus. A few more fixes here, under Miscellaneous. They fix an issue where changing a key binding from left mouse button to anything else would cause melee throwing weapons to automatically get thrown, even if the button was not released. They fixed an issue where the tooltip for Sanguine Vapor was incorrect and did not match the item description text. Fixed a collision issue where players were popping into place while riding elevators. Fixed an issue where the Trinity Wall mural was not always displaying correctly. And fixed an issue causing some cubes to not reappear after dying during the Polygon quest. All in all, I am completely shocked to get a somewhat major balance patch just a week after the last hotfix. Some of these changes are actually quite substantial, and I'm excited to see what else I can cook up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all things Remnant. Thanks for watching.